Namba is Osaka's second busiest entertainment district. Despite its grand opening in Namba, where did all that momentum go? Now it's filled with empty tenants. The commercial facility. There are two commercial facilities, Namba SkyO and Namba Marui. Both of them have become places where vacant tenants stand out, and they've been forced to shift away from their original concepts. So, what exactly happened to these two facilities? Let's find out. We're the Omatsu Everywhere Exploration Team. We will continue to create many videos for everyone to enjoy, so please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you. So, I have come to Namba, Osaka's second largest downtown area after Umeda. I have arrived. There are many izakayas and restaurants lined up here. The Namba Grand Kagetsu, where entertainers gather. The Namba 48 Idol Theater and Nippon Bashi, known as the Akihabara of the West. It's a very unique and lively area. There's Dotonbori, famous for the Glico sign, and Kuramon Market, known as the Kitchen of Osaka. There are also places that are popular with foreign tourists. One reason there are so many foreigners is because you can get to Namba Station on the Nankai Railway directly from Kansai International Airport, making it very accessible. I really love Namba. You can see all kinds of people and all kinds of scenery, so it's really fun just walking around. As expected in a busy downtown, there are many trains coming in and out. This time, I heard that there's a commercial facility here in Namba that's struggling, so I came to check it out. Those are the two commercial facilities called Namba SkyO and Namba Marui. First, let's check out Namba SkyO. Let me start by introducing Namba SkyO. Here we go. The location is right here. It's a commercial facility located right next to Nankai Namba Station. When you exit the north ticket gate, you can immediately enter the third floor of Namba SkyO. Before showing the interior, let me explain what this commercial facility is and why it opened. I will tell you about it. Namba SkyO is a complex building that began construction in 2015 and opened in 2019. It has 2 basement levels and 31 above ground floors, with commercial areas on floors 2 to 6. Other floors have banks, event halls, clinics, and so on. The 13th to 30th floors are office spaces. Those floors are office space. Nankai Electric Railway operates the building. There are also commercial facilities near Namba Station like Namba Parks and Namba City. They also run Namba City, which was originally part of Nankai. Nankai Electric Railway owns the building. The Nankai Electric Railway headquarters was once here. In 2013, after Nankai Electric Railway moved its headquarters to a new building nearby, most of the Nankai-kan building was vacated except for part of it. Most of it will be demolished. Due to that background, the project was first tentatively called New Nankai-kan Building. However, through a general vote, Namba S was decided as the name. The origin of the name is that it connects directly to Kansai International Airport. As a landmark terminal in Namba, it combines Sky, representing the skies of the world, and O, which stands for both the initial of Osaka and the shape of the earth. It carries the meaning of people from all over the world gathering in Osaka and expanding the circle of international exchange. That appears to be the intention. I see. Then Nankai announced in 2018, based on one of the medium to long-term plans called Greater Namba, SkyO was opened. Now, in the Greater Namba plan, there are 2 pillars that have been established. One is inbound tourism. The goal is to further solidify the already well-received Namba area and aim for its development as an even more international tourist city. The other is to enhance the urban functions of Namba, which are weaker as an office district compared to areas like Umeda and Yodoyabashi, even though they are all within Osaka City, Namba Sky. Namba Sky played a part in that. The concept of Namba Sky was to the world's Namba. As the name suggests, the commercial area attracts the interest of foreign tourists. It is related to Japanese traditions, culture, and health. They were attracting many tenants to the commercial area. The fifth floor, called Hon Mamon, was a workshop area where tenants provided opportunities to experience Japanese traditions and culture. Unlike other commercial facilities, it had a unique, distinctive feel. I think it was a good idea in terms of uniqueness. Now that I've introduced it, let's go inside. This is the third floor of Namba SkyO. Maybe because it's right by the Nankai ticket gate, there's a steady flow of people. As soon as you enter, there's a high-end supermarket, Marui. If someone like me shopped here every day, I'd go bankrupt. But as expected, it seemed like only wealthy people were shopping here. In my next life, I want to be an oil tycoon and shop here carefree. I hope I can buy out the supermarket. If you go further ahead, there's a vacant tenant space, an expensive-looking suit shop, a general store, an eyewear shop called Aishiti, and an ophthalmology clinic. And further ahead, there are so many people that you could say they're all tenants of Namba SkyO Starbucks. It's not a regular Starbucks, but a Starbucks Reserve. To put it simply, it's a bit... it's a high-end store. Next, let's go down one level to the second floor. On the second floor as well, there are people there too. The timeline is a bit mixed up, but this is the floor that used to have a flower shop, a game-related store, and a general store that sold wooden products. Currently, restaurants are the main businesses here. There's Burger King, Tully's, a ramen shop, and at the time of filming, my favorite, Utoya, is scheduled to open. Since there aren't many Utoya restaurants in Kansai, I'm really happy. I'll definitely be coming back. I'm a huge ramen lover. I had lunch at the ramen shop on this floor, Guriko. The main store is in Okayama. It's the first store in Kansai with the main store in Okayama. I'm not the adventurous type, so I had their signature chicken salt ramen and the ingredients. Really enhanced the flavor and tasted great. I'd say the next stop is the fourth floor, but actually Namba Sky. O doesn't have a fourth floor because of the north ticket gate at Nankai Namba Station. The third floor ceiling is a bit low due to that. Higher, that's one reason. Another reason is the neighboring tall... The building connects directly to the island, with upper floors linked to Takashima's fifth floor and the Osaka store. That's why it's complicated. They made it the fifth floor to avoid that. Also, before Namba SkyO was built, part of the Nankai coast remained in Takashimaya. They say it's being used as the West Building. Now let's pull ourselves together and head to the fifth floor. As I mentioned earlier, the fifth floor was supposed to have tenants where you could experience Japanese tradition and culture. But the entire floor has been turned into a MUJI store. The tenants from when it first opened, all the tenants seem to have closed. Next is the sixth floor, but there are barely any people around. When it first opened, there were 4 food-related tenants on this floor, but now only Zojirushi Shokudo remains. Except for Zojirushi Shokudo in Yamen, all other stores have changed, so it's totally different from when it first opened. The tenant lineup is completely different now. The floors above this have halls or office areas. They're not commercial areas, that's it. When it opened, the theme was #1 in the world. There used to be a lot of tenants aimed at foreigners, but the third floor with Akari Supermarket, Starbucks, and information and communication technology for contacts, which are more for Japanese people, hasn't changed much. The other floors have changed quite a lot. On the fifth floor, all the tenants have closed and it's now all MUJI. The tenants have closed down. If they're leaving Namba entirely, that's fine. But Namba Parks and Namba City nearby, Many stores also moved to places like Namba SkyO. This shows the weakness in its ability to attract customers. Currently, there are no more stores aimed at foreigners, and instead slightly higher-end shops have gathered here. It now feels like a calm commercial space. That concludes my intro to Namba Sky. Next, I'll introduce Namba Marui. Let me do that. Namba Marui is located here. It's located just across the newly renovated station square. Previously, there used to be a taxi pool and a roadway here, but those are gone now and a station square has been created, a large city square for relaxing. I think it's wonderful that it has been transformed into this, because it is connected to the entire downtown area from underground and is located right by the exit of Namba Station on the Osaka Metro Midosuji line, which is known as Osaka's main artery. You can get there without getting wet in the rain. Now, just like Namba SkyO mentioned earlier, inside... Before we go inside, let me give you an overview. It's part of the Toho Minami Gai building, which has 2 basement floors and 12 floors above ground. Namba Marui is located in part of the building. Several long, narrow louvers are installed in parallel on the main street side. It's a very stylish design. Namba Marui occupies the basement through the 7th floor, while the movie theater is on the 8th to 11th floors. Toho Cinemas Namba is there. There are also direct elevators to the movie theater, so you don't have to go out of your way to use the escalators or elevators inside Marui. It's designed so you don't have to go up inside, you know. Originally, Nangai Kaikan, a theater that mainly showed Eastern films, once stood here. However, due to aging, it closed its doors in 2004, ending its 50-year history. The current building was then built, and Toho Cinemas remains here today. This place is the true birthplace of the film industry. Admission fees were charged here 50 years before the Minami Kaikan was built, because the first movie in Japan was shown here. That's why it's called that. If I try to explain in detail, it would take even longer. But for now, since this is an introduction about Namba Marui, let me get back to the topic. Speaking of Marui, it's all about fashion. They mostly sell miscellaneous goods and aren't quite a department store. It's more aimed at younger people. It seems many tenants target young people. There were some materials left from when Namba Marui first opened, and they also mentioned that young people were the target audience. Competitors include places like Parco and OPA. When Marui opened, it became Osaka's first store and Kansai's second after Kobe Marui. The opening drew plenty of attention, just as Marui planned, not just in Osaka, but also in nearby Nara and Wakayama. It seems that many young people came to shop. Now let's go inside. First, the first floor. The lined up tenants create a fashion building vibe. The latest galaxy, called Galaxy Studio Osaka. There are also facilities where you can experience the products. There's nothing in particular to talk about on this floor. Next, I'll head to the second floor, where the fashion building vibe slowly fades. On the second floor at Rack, you can buy off-season or leftover clothes cheaply. Off-price stores make up about 1/3 of the area. The rest is different. The rest feels like the usual fashion accessory tenants that have been there for a while. What surprised me was that there were a lot of inbound customers at Rack, and on this floor, there were more foreigners than Japanese people. They seem to be coming here to buy cheap clothes. I don't mean this negatively. These are wealthy tourists. Customers are traveling to Japan. That's what I thought, but that's not always true. Nearby, there was an obviously renovated vacant tenant space. There was a rest area. There are too few benches for a rest area. Next, the third floor. Suddenly there's a photo booth area. an event space, and then some vacant tenants. It's a situation where anyone would wonder if it's really okay. There's also an off-price store on this floor. I'm not sure if it's because this place just opened recently, but it seems like inbound tourists haven't discovered it yet. Not many people were here, but it'll likely be discovered soon. On the 4th floor, there's a 100 yen shop called Seria and a specialty buyback store. If you go further inside, there are also fashion-related facilities. Some spaces are vacant, with some places recently closed. The 5th floor has game centers, trading card shops, and event spaces. It seems almost entirely focused on subculture. GU is on the 6th floor. There are also computer shops and camera stores. There are shops, capsule toy areas, and apparel stores. The 7th floor features event spaces. UNIQLO capsule toy corners and CA cafes, etc. Toho Cinemas is on the 8th floor, so I'll skip that. I've introduced the topic. What are your thoughts? The audience used to be young people. The fashion building aimed at young people has failed, with many event spaces, capsule toy areas, and empty units. So it seems like they're having a hard time attracting tenants. It originally opened as a fashion building for young people, but now, what was there before? The kind of cutting-edge fashion that was at the forefront of trends. The general merchandise tenants kept leaving one after another, and stores like Uniqlo, GU, and Luck Luck, low-priced fashion tenants stood out. I think it's a good thing that they're attracting foreign customers. Times are changing, so it can't be helped. But high school students. I visited often in high school and college, so it was a bit shocking. Also, besides the noticeable event spaces and vacant tenants, there were other things that I found disappointing. A postcard sign-up. Service counter. Too many? There are already 4 locations on the 8th floor alone. Come on. Marui Group's main business now is credit cards. It seems that's the case, and I understand they want to increase the number of contracts, but there were so many that I wondered how many cards they expect people to make. Namba Sky just opened, and Namba. Marui saw fewer visitors after the mid-2010s. Namba SkyO is now mainly foreigners. The tenants target upscale foreigners. With many upscale tenants, the shopper range was limited. Even so, it would have been fine if there were strong tenants that could attract people, but that wasn't the case. And there weren't any tenants with strong drawing power, so gradually they withdrew and attendance dropped, creating a negative spiral. I think Namba Marui was greatly affected by the rise of fast fashion and online shopping. In a world where more and more people feel that clothes from Uniqlo or GU are enough, or even if not, they buy clothes online, the appeal of a fashion building full of trendy clothing stores aimed at young people. The business failed, causing more spaces to become vacant. In that situation, the impact of the novel coronavirus was significant. The commercial facilities were already quiet to begin with, so when they were hit by the effects of COVID, it became an even bigger problem. There were restrictions on going out and entering the country. At one point, the number of people visiting Namba dropped significantly. As I said earlier, Namba, unlike Umeda and other Osaka areas, is a city that draws more foreign tourists than other entertainment districts, especially since Namisuka had only been open for 2 years, and both its original concept and tenants were aimed at foreigners. It's easy to imagine that the results were far from what was expected. It was tough from the start. Namisuka, Aeon, and Namba Marui ended up with vacant tenants. However, Namba SkyO has Muji and Ikari, starting with the supermarket. It's filled with slightly higher-end tenants. They aim to stand out from other commercial facilities to survive. The facility's future is unpredictable. I hope they remain as they are and the tenants stabilize. Also, there are still some vacant spaces at Namba Marui, so it's not a complete recovery yet. It's related to fashion accessories. As fashion accessory tenants declined, subculture-related shops increased. Fashion accessory stores are also targeting lower price ranges and inbound customers. They're adding more tenants and broadening their audience to draw more customers. Honestly, I think it will be tough because the decline of the apparel industry is certain to continue in the future. I hope they will keep adapting to the times and respond accordingly. Sorry if this sounds condescending, but I hope they handle situations well. I like that they updated the concept and reviewed facility management. There are situations where they can't change the concept and end up with lots of vacant tenants. As a result, it ended up being mostly beauty clinics. That's what it became. I've seen many similar commercial facilities, so I feel it strongly. Will Namba SkyO and Namba Marui be able to survive and become winners? That's good. In both good and bad ways, no new commercial facilities have opened in Namba, except for the two I mentioned in Takashimaya. There's only Namba Parks, Namba City, and the underground shopping area Namba Walk. In the Namba area, the Ebisubashi Suji Shopping Street and the Shinsaibashi Suji Shopping Street are strong, and people tend to gather more in the shopping streets than in commercial facilities. Commercial facilities are still better for convenient shopping, that's all. There aren't many stores, so it depends on your approach. Recently, Umeda's redevelopment has pressured us, widening the gap. Since we're being outpaced, I really hope Namba itself will work hard not to lose. So that's how it is. That's all for this video.